West Ham United have just been dumped out of the Carabao Cup by 3-2 away at Molineux. A dreadful second half capitulation from Graham Potter's men epitomises the dire state of West Ham United at the moment. It's just sad, really, isn't it? With the overarching state of the football club at the moment, from top to bottom, just seems like we're dying a slow death. And at the end of the game, you've got Jared Bowen getting frustrated and trying to climb over the advertising board to have an argument with an away fan, then coming out afterwards and apologising on social media. I mean, if this image doesn't speak 1,000 words of the state of the football club at the moment, I don't know what does. It is just sad more than anything. And, you know, I might get angry in this video, I might not, but I'm just at a point where I just feel sorry. To be honest, I feel sorry that this is the state of the football club. I feel sorry that this is where we are, and unfortunately, I can't see it improving anytime soon. And that's the reality of it, I'm afraid. That was awful in the second half. You can look at this two separate ways. You can look at it from the bigger picture of recruitment, of the ownership, of what's happened over the last few years. Or you can look at it in isolation. I'll do both. I'll look at it in isolation to start with this specific game. Well, we know our squad isn't big enough. We know our squad is lacking quality, without a doubt. And the first two games of the season, we've started a bizarre, dysfunctional, overrun midfield, consisting of the likes of Ward-Prowse and Rodriguez, who are slow, lethargic, pedestrian, passive midfielders. Everything we don't need. We need an injection of pace. We need an injection of energy. And I thought, and I think the fan base thought, that message had got through to Graham Potter. And we go to Molineux tonight, not in a Premier League game, in a Carabao Cup game. So even more of an opportunity to try something a little bit different, give another player a chance. But we get the lineup an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff, and he starts Rodriguez again over Potts. And that was my first issue. Not starting Potts. What's he got to lose? Potts has been on 2 loan spells, to Wycombe and to Pompey. He has won Player of the Season both times. Nobody has had a bad word to say about him through that 2-year period. He played in pre-season. He cannot get a sniff. He cannot get a sniff over Guido Rodriguez, a player that's got 1.5 feet out of the door. What does that tell him? What does that tell the rest of those youth players on that bench? Orford, Marshall, Skulls. They can't get on. They can't get a look in because we're prioritising players that are going to leave the club in the next 3 days. So that epitomises where we are as a football club before you even start. And to be fair, the game was quite even. Rodriguez at fault for the penalties, useless. We know that. I won't go over covered ground. But then we get to the second half and they threw everything at us, and we got the goal to get it back to 1-1, and they threw everything at us, and they dominated the second half without a doubt, Wolves, and somehow we ended up with a lead, 2-1 up. We're thinking brilliant, but we were just getting deeper and deeper, sitting, and everyone was saying they were all saying on commentary, West Ham have got to make a change here because we can't just sit and defend for the entirety of this second half. And eventually the inevitable happened. They made one change, changed a centre half for a centre half, didn't bother with midfield, didn't bother bringing on a forward. So it was just passive, pedestrian, waiting for the inevitable. And it did come. And Strand Larson, ironically, the 3 substitutions who came on for Wolves all contributed in them scoring 2 goals and winning the football match. Substitutions changed that game for Wolves in a positive way. The lack of substitutions for West Ham changed it adversely in a negative way for the Hammers, and effectively has chucked us out of the Carabao Cup and has neglected yet another cup run for West Ham. So we can say goodbye to the Carabao Cup for the 2025-26 season. We all know the issues lie deeper than this, but this is going to be a long season, and there's a lot of evenings where I'm going to sit here and go, they were just better than us. They have more quality. Our quality is lacking. But tonight's not one of those nights, unfortunately. Probably fortunately, really. Tonight is one of the nights where that game was there to be won. Tonight is one of the nights where the quality of both sides matched up and it was quite even. The game was quite even, especially in that first half. And the second half, we scored the goals and they had the possession. So it balanced out quite nicely. But again, it was the substitutions that changed the game, and it was Potter that's cost us. Not for once, not the diminishing quality of the squad. It was actually Graham Potter that cost us, because fresh legs and energy, and it didn't even need to be pace. It was just fresh legs. And we could have easily brought that on. Irving was ready to come on, but he was told to sit back down after we scored a goal. No. He is a weak manager, Graham Potter. He will not make changes. He is reactive, not proactive. And that is not traits you want to be attached to yourself as a manager. They're all negative, and he is a really negative thinking manager. I think it's fair to say I've developed that opinion, I'm afraid. All they had to do was bring Potts on and maybe one of the forwards, just to give us an injection of energy. And we'd have pushed up the pitch a little bit more. We'd have had a bit of an outlet up front instead of one-way traffic, and we'd have probably held them at bay. But no, we got deeper and deeper. Players like Walker Peters that haven't played full games in months were huffing and puffing and were, trying to catch a break, but they couldn't. And we were getting deeper and deeper, and the inevitable eventually materialised. And 2 goals came in 5 minutes, and that symbolised the end of our Carabao Cup campaign. It's like we could all see it coming. The 2,000 West Ham fans in that away end could see it. We could see it. The commentators could see it. All West Ham fans could see it. But the most alarming part of it was the 3 coaches on that bench, dumb, dumber and dumbest, couldn't see it. And it's alarming. It's really, really alarming. So you can deal with that in isolation. Today, the game, awful and probably symbolic of the football club at the moment. But you can take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye point of view, as a bigger picture. And it's a pure and honest representation tonight of the football club and where we are. We're dying. It's rotten to the core. This period has been coming, it's been manifesting, it's been developing for years. Ever since Rice left, we haven't replaced him. We sort of replaced him with Alvarez, but that evaporated, and we've now let him go. This is just a product of mismanagement for 4 years, from Moyes to Steiden to Lopetegui to Potter to Sullivan, dabbling his foot back in again. This is a complete representation of everything that's wrong with how this football club has been managed and operated over the last few years, because you've got different ideas everywhere and a squad mishmashed together, which clearly is dysfunctional in every way, shape or form. And you can deal with the recruitment this summer, which has been a complete and utter laughing stock. The fact that we all knew as fans we needed to sign midfielders. We had midfielders, but we all knew they weren't good enough. 6 midfielders, 5 of them, you'd argue, were not good enough last season and needed to be replaced. So what did we do? Not sign a midfielder all through June, all through July, and through 26 days of August, we've still not signed a midfielder. And it seems like it took the start of the season for the people upstairs to realise that we actually need to sign midfielders. Another alarming factor. There's a recurring theme here, isn't there? It's the mismanagement. It's the just complete inability to see the obvious. We needed players and we haven't done it. We've sat on our hands, we've dilly-dallied, we've dithered, and we've done nothing about it. And we have got one of, if not the worst squads in the Premier League. And that's not a sentence you can say lightly, because there's teams that have come up from the Championship, right? And they've added to their squads. Our squad looks like a Championship squad. It doesn't even look like a Championship squad. It will probably fit in League One. You take Bowen and Paqueta out of it, and it is just dire. Dire. Those poor players. Where would we be without the goals and creativity and impact of Souček, Bowen, and Paqueta? Where will we be? And you can't blame the likes of Paqueta and Bowen for sitting down tonight going, do you know what? Why am I here? Do you know what? Why am I bothering? You couldn't blame them for that, because they're trying their hardest to carry this circus on their back. Fans have had enough. You've got fans leaving in their droves, not going to the games, feeling a sense of disconnection with the football club. And I can hear it in my voice, and I'm sure you can as well. It is just heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking that this is what it's become. This is what it's allowed to become. 2 years ago today, we just come off the back of a brilliant Europa Conference League victory. We just beaten Brighton 2 years ago today in a magnificent win. And what a difference 2 years has made. I mean, we've papered over cracks even during that time. During that Conference League win season, we papered over cracks. We were poor that season. We've pretty much been poor since we finished 8th. From that season on, for was it 3 or 4 seasons, we've been really, really poor and papered over cracks with the Conference League win or Europa League runs, or a couple of wins in the last few games of the season to elevate us up to 12th or 14th or whatever it is. Because in the bare reality of it is that we've been in relegation battles for a couple of seasons, and maybe not as directly, but only because of how poor the teams have been down there. But now we've stooped as low as those teams down there, unfortunately, and we are banging trouble. We need drastic, significant changes, or we are going down. And that will be catastrophic financially and socially for this football club. That ground is a soulless bowl with 60,000 in it. So you wonder what it'll be like next season with 35,000 in the Championship. If this club goes down, then I seriously fear the outcome and solution, and if there is a resolution for it. But unfortunately, that's the way we're currently going. It's a slow, painful decline, which unfortunately has been coming. It has, and you cannot deny it. This hasn't just come out of the blue. And the board and everybody else may be able to spin it in that way as if it is, and spin a narrative that it isn't their fault. But at the end of the day, it is. The buck's got to stop somewhere, and it has to be there. And I'm just looking at my football club, and it's unrecognisable. And you can't blame people for packing it in, for not going, for saying they've had enough, for boycotting it, because something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. I mean, we've got 3-4 days left of this transfer window, and in the short term, not a lot's going to happen, and we're just going to have to hope for the best. That's the reality of it. We're just going to have to hope for the best. But in the long term, something needs to change. Something's got to give, because this, for years and years, has been unsustainable. Spending all this money on bad players, on the wrong players. We've done it for years. I mean, even this summer, it's been 35 million on Todibo with an obligation. That's bad business. He was awful tonight, Todibo. It's bad business. And that's happened, and it's been underlined, and it's been deep-rooted in West Ham for 3 or 4 years, and you could extend it for as long as you like, really. But yeah, sad, desperation, desolation, really poor. And I don't know where we go from here. I can't see a resolution. I can't see a solution. And yeah, I'm just really sad. I'm just really sad tonight, because that is a complete product of everything that's going wrong at the moment. That performance, that result, that outcome is symbolic of West Ham, unfortunately. Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you make of tonight, the bigger picture? And well, I mean, we're going to Forest on Sunday, and it's going to be not nice at all. We'll be covering that, and we'll be providing you with content with the day in the days building up to that. So stay tuned here on West Ham Unofficial. But as I said, have a good chat in the comment section down below. Put in your thoughts. Do you agree, disagree? But that's it from me. I've said my piece. I'm just really concerned about what comes next, and I'm fearful for it, to be totally honest. But there's not a lot we can do in the short term, is there, from us? Come on, you irons, and I'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much, and goodbye.